Tucked away in the valley of Los Angeles, 42 miles northwest of Disneyland, sits a tiki bar with a 78-drink challenge called the Grog Log. Drink all 78 drinks within 1 year, and you get a plaque with your name on the wall. Let's join two thirsty friends for a little My Time as they embark on a drunken journey through the log and talk about dumb shit like theme parks, drinking, and drinking at theme parks.
Welcome to my
I wasn't ready. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. We'll keep that too. Welcome to my grime, a podcast where we're drinking a terrifying amount of tiki drinks and talking about all the spooky things we normally talk about when we get scary drunk. I'm your host, Grave. And as always, I'm joined by my co-ghost and partner in grog, Gory.
Oh, God.
Is this annoying? It's pretty annoying. Welcome to my time.
I'm like crying.
I was trying to think, what's the Simpsons Treehouse
Treehouse
of Terror?
Yeah.
Grime or slime? I chose grime. Welcome to my
Grog
grime.
slog.
Where we're slogging on the grog. Anyway,
We're back.
Welcome. Yes, we're back. We're back. Welcome to my time. If you can't tell,
Maybe we're going to talk spooky stuff today.
yeah, maybe we're going to talk about spooky stuff until November. So if you don't like spooky stuff,
Okay, we won't do every episode like that. But
Corey,
it's probably going to come up
I'm
most
not
of the
going to
time.
make any. I'm not
I'll
writing
make
any checks that your ass specifically cannot cash.
I'll say, other than like our review, we'll try not to make any episode the full episode about Horror Nights from this point after today.
Yeah.
So there'll be one other at least full episode about Horror Nights because we have to review.
Yeah, I know.
Although we might record in
I
Florida.
know. There's going to
There
be.
might be two.
Listen. We're recording this August 7th to release in a week or two.
Yeah.
After today, everything is announced at Horror Nights. But Corey, how many days are we away from opening night of Horror Nights?
For Hollywood,
For
right?
Hollywood.
It's 29.
In 29 days, we will be skipping our little toesies.
I start running through them gates.
Walking into the fog. What's like
See you in the fog.
See you in the
people
fog.
Say. Yeah, I'll be huffing those fog machines.
Yeah. Halloween is basically officially back.
Yeah.
Costco. You can get
Halloween stuff.
Halloween stuff at Costco. You can
Walls are down at houses at Universal, so you can see the
Yes.
facades.
We can see the construction. We can see the
Yeah.
facades. We can see everything. I'm seeing Oogie Boogie Bash commercials on television telling us to go.
Technically, behind the scenes starts at Horror Nights Orlando next week.
The spooky season is upon us. Happy spooky season.
It's my favorite time of year.
Yes,
Happy spooky
it's the
season
best
to you.
time of year. The Haunted Mansion is back open at Disneyland. It's been down for quite a time, and they launched right into
Nightmare Before
Nightmare
Christmas.
Before Christmas
Which begs the question, did they take it down from when they closed it last year?
I don't think so.
No, they probably just
don't
updated
think
some
so.
of the scenes like they do every year.
Yeah, and I've heard that quite a bit of it is not working properly. I saw a video of Hatbox Ghost. His face was just blank white. No.
It's like the Windows screen.
It's awful.
Oh,
It's
God.
awful. What have you been doing? Okay, anyway, we're not going to get into that because today is Hype Day. Hype Day meaning, which I did not know what Hype Day was.
Hypeless Day.
What? Wait a minute. Should we drink?
Let's try the drink, then we'll start Hypeless.
Okay. So we're going to drink this drink. What do we got? QB Cooler.
It looks good.
It looks like a Mai Tai. It's a
Shorty guy.
shorty guy Mai Tai glass.
Mm-hmm.
Tiki color. Classic
Very
tiki.
classic tiki.
Very classic tiki color. Maraschino cherry.
Lime
mint,
wheel.
Lime wheel.
Slapping a mint.
Cat, our bartender, I watched her slap the mint today.
She did it.
She slapped it. Woke it up. All right, so let's
take a sipsy.
let's take a sip of this, and we will tell you if we like it. Drinks
Okay.
awake, so I'm awake.
Great.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good-ish, but
Good-ish.
not for me.
Yeah.
I know what's in it, and I know why I don't like it.
It's a little too bitter for you, huh?
It's got that aftertaste of licorice.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It's what I love.
It's strong.
It's strong, but it's like what I love adjacent. It's like
It's like one step away from being really good.
right, and I think that is
Which would be like a Mai Tai?
Yeah, I think it's whatever is veering off of good fruity boozy drink.
Yeah.
Like it's got like one note of licorice,
Right.
and I think that's what's doing it for me. Let me tell you what's in it.
I don't hate that flavor as much as you do, but I totally get what you're saying.
It just doesn't sit well.
It coats like a layer of the back of your tongue in a different way or something where it hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what's in it. QB Cooler. There's lime juice, orange juice, passion fruit syrup, sugar syrup, dark Jamaican rum, light Puerto Rican rum, bitters, and Pernod. Pernod
That's
was
the one.
That's it. The Pernod is just like
I'm
Pernod. It's a Pernod.
I'm going to dress up as it for Halloween.
It's scary.
Ooh, spooky. I'll scare Dave right out of here.
I'll run right out of there. The little guy's face indicating how boozy this is, he's fucked up.
I could tell it's pretty strong.
You could tell he was going to be fucked up.
The first sip, I did a little, yeah.
This is by our favorite beachcomber, Don the Beachcomber, circa
Don.
1941, when the house rule was a limit of 2 to a customer.
Well, that probably should still be the rule.
Yeah, pretty smart. But you know what? It dawned on me. So Trader Vic, who claims that he invented the Mai Tai, I believe that Don the Beachcomber said, well, you got the idea for the Mai Tai by drinking a lot of QB Coolers.
Gotcha. I could see it's a quick hop, skip, and a jump to the Mai
it's
Tai.
close. There's no orgeat.
It's kind of like what we have been saying before when you like give that equivalent of when you're cooking and you're like balancing a dish.
Right.
It's very similar with making tiki cocktails, as we've come to find out, or cocktails in general, really, having the appropriate balance. And when it leans a little too far one way, maybe not our favorite.
Do I like it?
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
I'm trying to decide where it lands for me.
I'm so torn. I'm
going to take one more sip before I rate it.
That's what we call the Tiki 2 sip.
It is a Tiki 2 sip.
My rating is a 2.75.
Oh, boy.
The thing is, I will never drink this.
You would never order it again?
I'm not going to order it for myself. If somebody was like, hey, can I get you a QB Cooler? I would say, no, I'll just take a Mai Tai.
Yeah.
I would always say no because of this one Pernod. It's a Pernod for me, dog.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Lordy.
It's a Pernod for me, dog.
I would call this like a 3.75 for me.
Wow.
Because I would order it again. Would I drink more than one? Well, maybe like a 3.5, because I don't know if I'd drink more than one in a night.
You can only get 2 in a night.
But I would definitely order it again. And there's been other ones where I would not order it again.
Yeah.
And I feel like, to me, once we get over like 3.25, that means I would order it again.
Okay. This is a hype episode.
This is
a hype episode. It's like basically like...
What are we most excited to least excited about?
Right. It's like a prediction episode, a hype episode.
It's a
Horror
big
Nights
thing
hyped episodes are a big, big thing.
It's a big thing within the Horror Nights community. It's what I look forward to most every year, I would say, is when my favorite Horror Nights podcasts start doing their hype episodes. I think it's super fun. And I love to then, after the event, go back and listen to their hype episode, like digest my own opinions of the events, and then listen to their like post-event rankings too. I think it's just fun to see how drastically different your opinion could change.
Right. Like last year.
Exorcist, people were like, it's going to suck because it was Believer, the new one. I would say largely disproportionately the other way. People thought it was great. Yeah.
Right. The terror tram everybody thought was going to be so stupid. And
then we met Larry the Laura.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it.
We
so it
miss
moved
Larry.
up. It's just like our predictions for what we're going to like, what speaks to us now.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, then we'll compare notes and we'll say like, oh man, like it's just fun. It's our predictions for Horror Nights.
There are these little blurbs and a little picture. And then in your mind, you're thinking what the house or the scare zone is going to be. And you could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
And that's fun to me.
Right. So
something you could waltz into being like, oh, this is going to be the comedy house for sure. And then you run out of it.
Yeah.
Because you're so scared.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're going to talk Hollywood.
Yeah, we'll start with Hollywood scare zones. I'll just kind of quickly read the little blurbs that they've released as like the press statements. And then you can tell me what your list is.
I'll do 1 to 4.
Most to least.
Most to least.
Okay, and then I'll do my most to least, and then we'll kind of debate our differences.
Yeah, okay. So a scare zone, just to define...
If you haven't gone before, scare zones are the areas in the streets of the theme parks.
Right. The area
so it's open air for the most part. There's just little themed areas that have characters that are kind of wandering around, spooking you a little bit,
Right. The areas in between the
walking to houses. Yeah.
So when you enter the park, you might have a guy with a chainsaw run up to you.
I'll guarantee you do.
Yes. Yeah.
At least at Hollywood.
We promise.
Yeah.
Then like you get
At
out
the end of the night, you'll have some chainsaw guys chasing you out.
Exactly. So it's the spaces between.
Yeah. If you're someone who has never been to Horror Nights and you're thinking of going, Hollywood makes it impossible to not walk through a scare zone to get to other things.
You have to walk through scare zones.
Orlando, you do too, but like you can like jet around a little easier.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's get into it. I wish I had a drop or something to play. Like, here we go. We're officially, this is the start of the season, and I press a button and it's like, welcome to Scare Zone Chat.
We need that damn dubstep music that Murdy uses at the entrance every year where it's like, fireball, fireball. Yeah.
You've entered the Scare Zone. Okay.
All right.
What are the scare zones? We've got 4 of them.
Which is new for Hollywood. The last few years we've only had 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so the first one we have is Murder of Crows. You foolishly ventured into a massive crow's nest. So we did see some of these crows last year. Remember when we did opening night, they were down in the H lot by Chucky and Monsters.
Right.
And then as the event progressed, they were more towards the area where they're going to be this year. So John Murdy has confirmed they will be basically in the area where animal actors used to be.
Where, like, Fast and Furious is.
Yes. Well, it's now where that construction wall is, which does present some interesting challenges with giant people on stilt.
Yeah. The crows are like stilt walkers with those arm pulls.
Yeah. And there's going to be like a mama crow and a baby crow this year.
Okay.
And there is a crow's nest he's confirmed.
Cool. Okay.
So, cool. That's what
All
I know
right.
about it. I'll give the little tidbits I found out from him, too.
Sure.
From Murdy, like we're friends.
Yes.
All right, next we have Skull Lords. All hail the royal court of the undead, where Gothic kings and queens reign. So this is going to be where Toys was last year. So like the main hub, when you have walked in, it's where they've set up the trust the last few years with the fireball thing has been back. It's typically my favorite zone. I love to stand there and take pictures.
Right.
Because they mess with you.
Yeah,
and in the past,
completely.
I've like made quote unquote friends with scare actors that constantly just mess with me from the first night to the last.
100%. We had our favorites last year.
Sure did.
We were like, oh, I remember that one. I love that guy.
And then we have chainsaw punks. Chainsaw wielding punk rockers with masks and mohawks will close in on you. So this will be right when you first walk in through the gates is where those chainsaws will be.
Yeah. It blends into the other scare zone.
Usually it kind of seems like one big one.
Yeah.
And it's the imagery they release looks like a lot of the imagery that's been on the preview merch so far, like that skull guy with like the mohawk, kind of like the neon 90s kind of look. And then lastly, we have the luchadores, which is going to be after you come out of Monstros.
Which is in like the Parisian courtyard area.
Correct. You're about to get caught in the middle of a lucha libre horror film as 2 luchadors battle masked monsters. At Midsummer Scream, Murdy did show some other imagery for like the costumes in this, and like some of them are quote unquote based on some Universal monsters, which looks kind of cool.
Awesome.
All right, so let's hear it.
Here's how I've ranked them. What I'm most hyped to least hyped about. Number 1, luchadors.
Okay.
I think it's very cool. That's the one I'm most interested for.
Like the imagery of it?
Yes. Number 2, I went the Skull Lords.
Okay.
Why just the area?
Yeah.
To me, it's like the best area. It's the only scare zone that like really matters.
It's the only one you can, in Hollywood, it's the only one you can like hang out in, basically.
It's the only one that you can tell is an actual scare zone and has like a cohesive kind of like story.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones, you're just like, oh, it's just people coming up to you and having a chainsaw or something like that. It doesn't feel like a scare zone. This feels like a theme and everything. So Skull Lords would have been number 1 for me.
Yeah.
But I am more interested, I think, in the luchadors.
Yeah.
Then I had Chainsaw Punks.
Okay.
Because you come in, nothing says Horror Nights like a chainsaw.
That first chainsaw rip and that smell of gasoline, baby.
And they just like run at you with the chainsaw, and you're like, honey, I'm home. I love it. So chainsaw, great. Then I put crows.
Okay.
Crows is number 4. Not so excited about the crows. The big stilt walker guys, while I find them neat, I really don't care about them.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they kind of have like some like people walking around just dressed as birds,
I think they will.
which is like kind of a
I think
cool
it'll
idea.
be more than like the 3 we had last year.
Yeah, I don't know, because they kind of did have that, like you said, down outside of Chucky or whatever.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense on why they were there.
I think
but
they were testing it on
they were
opening
testing
night,
it.
and then they moved them up. Yeah.
It was okay to me. And I got to be honest, that's such a highly trafficked area that I don't
know how it's going to work.
I don't think it's going to work. And
I bet you they move them. Because that construction wall wasn't that far out last year.
Yeah. Okay, that's my list.
We're so close to being exactly the same. My number 1 is Luchadors because, same, the imagery I am really excited for. And I do really like the house monstros exiting into a scare zone, which they've done the last few years, because it's fun to watch other people come out of the house and be like, woo, thank God. And then immediately just get pounded again. I love that.
Yeah, it almost makes leaving a house scarier than like being in the house.
It makes the experience seem like 10 minutes instead of like 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My only negative to that is I'm going to want to stand there and take pictures of those people, and they don't really let you stand there because
it's an exit. You're upsetting the flow.
Which I really debated about putting it number 2 for that reason, because I do love taking pictures at Horror Nights. It's like got a lot of fog in that area. It's normally pretty dark. I've had great experiences in that area, so it's my number 1. My number 2 is Skull Lords because I like that area. It's like the same reason you said. It's the most quote unquote scare zone typically.
Right.
I'm excited to see what those costumes look like.
Yeah.
Am I like super excited about that theme? Not really, but I will say Hollywood, the scare zone actors as well as the house actors, scare actors are incredible. So I am very excited to see what they do with their roles, to be honest.
It's kind of funny if you told me that last year, like a Raggedy Andy doll was going to be like one of my
one of our favorites, or like a messed up ballerina with hair falling out. Like, but we loved it.
Like, I'm not so excited about that. But then it was like awesome.
Yeah.
So
my number 3 is Murder of Crows.
Oh, okay.
Because I was a little obsessed with those crows last year, if you remember. I was trying to get like a good picture of them all season, and I couldn't get one.
Right.
And so I'm excited to see them again, see what they flesh out. I am concerned about the flow of traffic in that area. If they're even going to be able to put props over there, I don't know. We'll see how it progresses, because stuff does change from opening night, so who knows. And my least anticipated is the chainsaw punks, just because like the entrance zone is very quick, and although I do really enjoy the chainsaws, it's just people dressed up with chainsaws. There's no props, there's no nothing. Like, it's fine, I enjoy it, but I know what it is without even being there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just going to be people with mohawks and chainsaws.
Yeah. We've established it.
Which you're either like really enthused about or like just going to walk right by it.
Yeah. But I do love watching the people walk in through the chainsaws and the actors finding someone that are absolutely just terrified. I've seen people collapse. I've seen people run away screaming. It's amazing.
How come at Horror Nights, big miss, that they don't sell a scented candle like a chainsaw
scent? Magic Candle Company has a Horror Night scent that smells like the fog.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like, it smells pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the smell of it. It's like frankincense, kind of. All
right. Houses.
Should we order our next one? Maybe, because
we suck these down.
Well, it was a shorty guy.
It was small.
It's also hot and maybe.
I know. We got to catch up. We do have to catch up.
All right, let's do it. Let's order another one.
We're going to order another drink.
And then we'll do houses.
QB Cooler.
I'm still staying at 3.5.
It didn't fuck me up like I thought it would.
No.
I got through it. I'm going to go 3 because I wound up drinking and it was totally fine.
Like after the first sip, it tasted better, honestly.
It's a little shocking, the first drink. Is this going to be a 4-drink episode?
We might need to buckle down here, buddy.
All right.
Put on your big boy pants.
We're going to order another drink. We're going to be right back.
All right.
We'll take a word from our sponsors. And
John Murdy.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Here's to you.
Hello, boys and ghouls.
Ghouls. By the tickling of my thumb.
Yeah.
Today, we're talking about hymns. Do you have rabbit hair loss? You can call hymns. Order it whenever you want. It comes in discreet packaging. Use code MYGRIME. And if you have problems getting erections, you can also have it. Use code GRAVE.
All right. We're back. We ordered another round. I'm leaving all that in.
Great. Perfect. I'm sure we'll get plenty of sponsors.
Yeah. That could be you. Now we're going to do houses, which is why you go to Horror Nights.
It is, but there are past Orlando scare zones that are like the things I think about.
Okay, so the houses. We got 8 houses in Hollywood this year.
Right.
One was announced
Today. Yeah.
The one that was announced today was The Weekend.
Mhm.
What's the Weekend
So this
all
is
about?
called the Weekend Nightmare Trilogy. The Weekend returns in a new haunted house spawned from After Hours, Dawn FM, and a horrifying new tale.
Yeah, and it's The Weekend. The Weekend.
The music artist.
The musician, the performer.
That is unique to Hollywood. I'll try to put a little pinpoint in the ones that are unique to Hollywood.
Right.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Legend of Leatherface. Leatherface and his cannibalistic kin will lure you into a gore-filled slaughterhouse. I'll just give 2 quick extra sentences about this that I saw from the Midsummer Scream presentation. Murdy is very excited about this house, and to be honest, when he first announced it, I was like, great, more Leatherface. But then as he was talking about it, I was like, okay, this actually sounds pretty good.
Right, yeah.
Basically, it's an original tale that involves the entire family and like every iteration of Leatherface that has ever appeared on screen. He did also say, if you thought Exorcist smelled bad last year, you're really in for
God.
it. So I'm just going to leave that there.
Oh, I didn't know that when I made my hype list.
Universal Monsters, Eternal Bloodlines.
This one is both coasts.
This is both coasts, yep. Get caught in an epic battle as
Saskia. Get caught in an epic battle as Saskia Van Helsing and the Bride of Frankenstein go up against Dracula's daughter and her monstrous mavens, featuring music by Slash.
This coast has the Slash music. The other coast has a female composer that does a lot of the music for Universal Horror Nights, which I will look up before we do
I like
the
that.
other part.
Okay, cool.
Basically, this is a sequel to the Bride of Frankenstein house, essentially. And it's in the snow, which I'm really excited about.
Ooh, in the snow. I love that.
Mm-hmm. So next we have Monstrous 2,
Hell yeah.
which is sequel to first Monstrous we had last year. It is 3 new monsters. Resist the infernal rider El Charo, or he'll take your soul, turn your back on the devil dog El Cadejo, or you'll be lost forever, and you'd better behave, or the boogeyman El Cocoy will get you. Sorry if my pronunciation wasn't great. Tried really hard.
No,
I
it's
looked it
fine.
up a few times.
Yeah. We don't speak the language, but we
But
love,
I know the monsters.
Yeah, we know the monsters.
Mhm.
Sounds cool. 3 Latin monsters. We've seen
Um,
like a werewolf looking thing with
Mhm.
eyes that glow red.
Yeah,
and like,
but it's gonna be cool to see like more of their backstory. I saw the facade Monday. I went, and it looks awesome.
great.
So I'm excited
Did
for
it
him.
look the same as it did last year, kind of?
No, I mean similar vibe.
Similar.
Murdy has said like basically you're in the same graveyard as you were last
Right.
year. This is just a new mausoleum. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do the next one?
Yeah, we have Insidious the Further. Enter the Further as demons try to ensnare you. The red-faced demon will lure you into his lair. Keyface will unlock your fears.
So this is also bi-coastal.
Bi-coastal. After the Insidious series.
Yep.
Uh,
Okay. Next one, also bi-coastal.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. An ancient artifact has released a chilling new entity, Garaka. He'll stop you cold. Only the Ghostbusters can keep you from getting iced.
Nice.
Great. That's after the newest Ghostbusters.
But I've heard it's going to include like some elements of a lot. Yeah,
Right.
not just mostly based on Frozen Empire. But if you're not a fan of the newer movies, you're still going to like it, from what I
Yeah.
understand.
Cool.
Next one is an original, just for Hollywood. Dead Exposure, Death Valley. Enter a top secret government facility where an experiment to create super soldiers has gone horribly wrong, turning people into radioactive zombies. This is part of a series of original houses that was in Orlando.
Okay.
Dead Exposure is like a title, and then there's been a few different ones. Dead Exposure, Patient Zero, Dead Exposure, blah, 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 whatever.
Cool.
There's been a few different ones.
And then A Quiet Place. It's in both coasts. It's after the movies. Make a sound and you won't last long. Monstrous creatures will hunt you down as the world of the first 2 films comes to terrifying life.
Yep. And then lastly, what was just announced today as well is the Terror Tram featuring Blumhouse. Terrifying Blumhouse characters have taken over the Terror Tram, face the murderous android Megan, the Grabber, and more.
Great. Okay. Now I want to drink. I want to get drunk, and then we'll tell you about
Our lists.
our favorite list. What do we got? We got a big, like a little shell.
It's like a personal bowl, so it's like it seems like a big drink.
Yeah, you've seen like a personal pizza. Like
Yeah.
that's still a pretty big pizza. This is what that is. It's like the personal pizza of tiki drinks. It's a big shell.
Yeah.
We both have big shells.
Is it a conch?
Yeah.
It's like a
like a
conch in
conch
half?
shell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
It's a pretty bowl.
Yeah, pretty bowl.
Pretty bowl.
God.
I hate us.
We just jumped the shark.
I hate us.
We're done. Pack it in.
Podcast is over.
I don't know what color it is. We can only see the top, and the
It's
top is
foamy.
foamy. This is called the Tahitian, if I can say that. Okay, so we're gonna drink it.
Let's try it.
What's like a good spooky cheers? Okay, I'm googling right now. Spooky cheers. Spooky
It's gonna be morbid, I bet.
cheers.
It's like if this drink won't kill you, your liver will or something.
Spooky cheers. Here we go. I'm clicking on the first bit of clip art that I see.
Oh, good. That's always good. He's smiling.
Okay, this is somebody.
Oh no, I'm nervous.
I pulled up somebody's personal invitation
Okay.
to their Halloween party.
Great. Let's hear
That
it.
was the first thing. Is that going to be our cheers?
Let's do
Just
it.
somebody's.
Is it stupid?
Is it going to be stupid? They've misspelled witches.
Go to the next one.
No, we're doing this. We're committing to this. I pulled up the first thing. Calling all ghouls, witches, and ghosts. The Browns are going to be your hosts. Join us for a howling good time at 9:15. Wear your costumes and be on time.
Well, it's 5:15. So.
All right. So to the Browns.
To the Browns.
To the Browns.
Cheers.
This is Hannah and Jack Brown.
Thank you, Hannah and Jack Brown. What if they're listeners? How weird. That would be like
Hannah-
simulation
Wait a
style.
minute. It says we're dying to hear from you. RSVP to this phone number. We're dying to hear from you.
Next, after this drink, we'll call the phone number.
Okay. All right. Hannah and Jack Brown, thanks for the toast.
We're going to tell you in a minute.
We have your address.
you
We'll
pick
send you a
this
stick.
up?
We'll send you a sticker.
Yeah. Here, we'll cheers our straws
cheers our
because this
straws.
is too dangerous to pick
Cheers.
up. Okay. Oh my God.
Oh. I don't like it.
Oh boy.
That's a lot of drink that I'm gonna. A lot of drink that I'm gonna have to drink that I don't love.
Oh, it's
What's that funky taste in it?
Let me take you to sip it. It just
I'm
tastes
gonna
like
store it.
it honestly tastes like straight booze to me.
Yowza.
She did say she was.
We had such high hopes that we were gonna catch
She
up,
did say she was a strong.
and we had the strong one last one too.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I think it's one of the rums that I just don't.
Okay, what is in this? Let's do that, and then we'll do our ranking.
I don't like one of the rums. I think that's what it is. It kind of tastes funky, right?
I don't know. I don't taste the funk. I just think it tastes really strong.
Tahitian, unsweetened pineapple juice, lime juice, white creme de cacao.
It's the unsweetened pineapple juice is what tastes weird, I think.
I don't know. Sugar syrup, bitters, rum barbancourt, Jamaican rum, Puerto Rican rum.
And the guy's face is definitely
The guy's
fucked up.
face is fucked up. He's like, why would you drink this?
Yeah.
After drinking the last one. And the liner notes are our
Good luck.
original creation.
Oh, really?
So
Beach Bomb did this?
I guess it's a straight beach rum cocktail.
I don't hate it, but I'm going to need a minute to stew on it.
I'm not big on it. I don't think it has a lot of redeeming things that I enjoy out of this drink. I don't enjoy drinking this one. I will say that.
This isn't one that I would say I don't enjoy drinking, but I'm also not sure I would order it again or advise somebody to order it.
It's a 2.5 for me.
I was going to say it's a 2.75/3. I'm not sure yet.
I just don't want to think about it anymore. You
That
know,
was me
like,
with the
that's
lychee drink.
like I just like want to get through it and just like knock it off the list and be like happy
Like,
that
is
I
it
did
as
it.
bad as Cruzana? No. Is
No.
it as bad as the cold brew coffee drink? No.
But those are all in like the one category.
I'm still debating 2.75 to 3.
Okay. While you're sipping, let's just talk our
Okay.
number one house that we're both looking forward to. I feel like they're gonna be the same.
We'll say it on 3.
We'll say it on 3. One,
One,
two,
two,
three.
Monstrous
Monstrous.
2.
All right. I knew it. That's why I
I'm
want
sorry.
Monstrous was the runaway hit for us last year. We
I loved
loved it.
We've said this in previous episodes, or you and I have said this privately. I love that they are making this event a representation of everyone that goes to this fucking event.
Right. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's exposing people like us to different like folklore and quote
Yeah.
unquote fairy tales maybe we haven't heard of before, but they're awesome. And they're telling them in a really cool way. The detail they are putting into these houses is incredible. It was scary last year.
Right.
I mean, even if we had run it, by the end, like 7 or 8 times or whatever, we were still scared in moments of it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. It was great. Runaway hit last year. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a slam dunk again.
Also, if this ends at number 1 for me, this is 6 years in a row of Parisian Court Heart being the best house to me.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, and I don't know if I just jinxed it, but
Now I feel like our lists are going to wildly veer off. That was the only one.
I feel like I honestly have no idea what yours is going to be, and I think our Orlando one might be even crazier different.
Yeah, I don't think that you and I are going to have anything close to the same list.
Why don't you say number 2, and if it's the same, I will tell you. if mine
Okay,
is
number
the
2
same.
for me is Insidious.
Nope.
Everything that you've said about how scared you are for it, that makes me excited.
You want to see a scary one.
I like to see a scary one.
Yeah.
I liked the marketing video. I thought was really
The
cool.
marketing video was terrifying.
Really scary.
I sent it to Brittany, and she was like, whoa. I was like, yeah.
I don't know anything about Insidious. I got to start watching all these movies. It looked very interesting to me. I'm very excited about Insidious. How about your number 2?
My number 2 is Eternal Bloodlines Monsters.
Okay, that was number 3 for me.
Okay, so we can discuss it
Okay,
at
so
the
we're not.
same time.
I think it sounds really cool.
I love my monsters.
Yeah,
I love my female monsters.
right.
The pictures I've seen of this facade look amazing, and any house that involves snow in the history of Horror Nights, I love.
Okay. It's got like a good story to it.
Yeah,
like
and
I'm
we're
really.
gonna be pumped up because we got that slash music.
Yeah, you got slash music. It's
it's also in the soundstage that like all those monster movies were filmed in.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
very-
1920 monsters films, which is cool history.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I'm expecting some big sets in this one.
Yeah, and them fighting each other will be cool,
Totally.
I think.
If I had a prediction, this is probably what they put the most money into.
Interesting. All right. So that was number 3 for me. What'd you go for 3?
For 3, I put Texas Chainsaw,
I put that at number 4.
The Legacy of Leatherface. Yeah, I'm terrified of this. I'll be honest. I think it's going to be very scary. It's going to be dingy. It's going to be gross, and it's going to be really stinky. But similar to you, like wanting to see a scary house with Insidious, like I'm probably going to come out of this feeling alive. So
I think that this house is going to be the runaway scariest house.
Yes.
I think it just seems very aggressive. And I think that this one will scare me more. I think I'll be happier with Insidious because it'll be like a level of scare that I enjoy. Like last year, Exorcist.
It's not going to be gory. Insidious isn't going to be gory.
Right. Exorcist last year I thought was very scary and
Yeah.
very like gross smelling and stuff. But I wasn't like terrified of it.
You weren't like messed up walking out
Right.
of it.
And I
yeah.
feel like that's what this one is going to be.
it's
Texas
going to mess us
Chainsaw,
up a little bit.
which is why I ranked Insidious higher.
Fair.
What did you? So that's my 1 through 4. So we're not so far off.
No. Do you want me to tell you my number 4 then?
Yeah. Number 4.
My number 4 is Dead Exposure, Death Valley.
That's my number 5.
Oh, this is funny.
This is really working out.
Yeah, I've only done one Dead Exposure house, which was 2018 in Orlando. But there, like I said, there's been a few, and it was very scary.
Yeah.
Like the only time I've ever thought about going out the exit door, scary.
Interesting.
Very scary.
Zombies aren't my favorite anymore. Like they've been
I don't like
overdone.
zombies
but
in
this
general.
This seems kind of like cooler a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it seems like they're like lab
experiment gone wrong. Yeah,
gone wrong.
it's not going
like-
to be like Walking Dead, hopefully.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that seemed pretty cool to me.
And it's where Last of Us was last year, and that house was great.
That
what
house
they
was
did with
great.
it. And it has a similar like outdoor looking scene, it looks like, which we liked last year too.
Okay, so that was number 5 for me. So your number 5.
My number 5 is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Okay, we veer off. This is where we veer off.
Okay. I'm excited for Ghostbusters. We had a great Ghostbusters house in 2019 that I saw on both coasts. So like I love Ghostbusters, but like as far as what I'm most excited to see, this is in the middle.
So that was what number?
5.
That was 5 for you. Why don't you give me 6 through 9?
Okay.
So give me your 6 through 9.
My 6 is the Weekend.
Okay.
Set the second house for the Weekend because I really liked the first one. I found his image, like the imagery of his music videos and stuff, kind of cool, and like
Sure.
I enjoyed the house more than I thought I would. So I'm like, what are they gonna do?
Okay.
And I will say, I feel like this is gonna be a Murdy Tiki 2-sip where most of the house is things we've seen from the first one, if I had to guess.
Right.
And then there's like a tag at the end of something different.
Yeah, I have the benefit of not having seen.
Which I'm fine with. But
Right.
like,
Although he said that it's a house that he's been like thinking about the most and
I
like
know, but
keeping him up at night and taking secret trips to
I
talk about
will
it.
gladly eat my words if it's a completely fresh house, but there's only so many music videos and things that he has.
Yeah.
So we'll see. My 7 is Insidious.
Wow.
I saw
so
Insidious a few, like, what was that, like 2017, I think was that one in Hollywood. And I think I've told this on the podcast. I ran out of it because it terrified me and never went back in it again. So I'm just pretty scared of it.
is it lower on your list because you're scared of
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I am a chicken. We've been over this.
Right.
And I probably.
You're not though. But
I am.
okay.
Like, that fucking red lipstick G-Man, I hate.
right. Okay.
He really creeps me out. Quiet Place is my number 8. I honestly have no idea how they're going to do this. That's why.
Right.
I don't get it. Murdy has said there is no big puppet or anything because it wouldn't fit in the area where this is. So it's going to be like partial puppets and things like that are the monsters. I hope to be blown away.
Right.
You can't have a haunted house based on trying to be quiet. Like, how's that going to work?
I know.
I hope I am blown away by what they do, like I said, but like I just don't know how they're going to do it.
Right.
And then last would be Terror Tram because Blumhouse, like, especially when they're like featuring Megan and like the freaking Purge, like, oh, can we let go of the Purge already?
My 6 through 9 is 6. I had A Quiet Place
Okay.
just because I'm intrigued by it.
I am intrigued by
I'm
it
intrigued
too.
by it. To me, quiet is scary.
Of course, but there's no way they're going to be
But
able to
there's
keep
no.
it.
I think that it's going to be like quiet, and then those like. And
It
then
might
it's
be
just-
like really offensive, earbud offensive.
Oh,
Trying to like be in an area where they're like trying to reduce sound or keep it as reduced as possible, and then screeching of monsters.
I don't know. I'm very intrigued by it. Number 7 for me was The Weekend House.
Okay.
I'm not a big Weekend fan.
Neither am I.
And like I
he's
don't
fine,
I know you
but-
don't need to be, but like them saying like hey, stuff from his videos like doesn't excite me. Like don't care about it. Don't care about the music. Don't care about him. Terrible actor.
Oh my god, that show.
Which
Whoa.
I honestly thought was gonna kill the house.
Me too.
But
Same, because it was so bad.
but the fact that Murdy was like, hey, it's the one I've been thinking about, I'm kind of interested by it.
I'm intrigued to see how it's different and stuff, yeah.
Number 8 for me is Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Don't know why. I can't really get excited for it. Just like normally I like the campy kind of like fun stuff
Yeah.
and like stuff that's not too terribly scary. I just can't get excited for this. I don't know why. Like I like the movies fine,
Yeah.
but I'm just not like
Do you feel like you know what it's going to be, so you're like, eh?
no, I feel like it's going to be Stranger Things last year, which to me
Which was, you, trust me, you don't know about
no,
Stranger
I know, but
Things.
to me like Stranger Things was just like
It was fine.
It was okay, and like
There was like one scene that was like very impressive, and the rest was fine.
right.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I went in a lot of times. I feel like I would have been fine having done it once.
I think when I was like, let's go that night we did like 18 run throughs, I was like, let's do it again. And you're like, really? Stranger Things again? I
Yeah,
was like,
it
we're
just-
here. Let's just do it
it
again.
just didn't get better.
Yeah.
We saw it popping. Like,
yeah. We saw
and
it with
was
everyone
just-
in it. Yeah.
Like the ceiling is just very low, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's what's going to be Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Blumhouse tram. Okay, I know the Megans are going to be in the Nope area.
Do you think?
That's what
where
I
they're
think.
going to dance? Yeah.
That's where I think they're going to dance. I don't
bet
know.
you the Megans are in the plane crash scene.
Yeah, I'm just like not terribly like excited. I love the Megans. Like I think that's fun,
But
but
how
like
are they going to they're just going to be out there dancing for 45
Yeah,
minutes and then
it's
they
just-
switch them out to other
this
ones
is
that are out
not
there dancing
terribly
for 45
exciting.
minutes?
This is not terribly exciting to
Yeah.
me. Maybe there's Five Nights at Freddy's stuff that they haven't talked about, but I'm like
It's
just
interesting it wasn't part of the press release or imagery on either coast, though.
I know.
All it
And
is.
you know what? And the thing that bums me is that like I had so much fun. Like last year was all like we
That was maybe our sleeper hit of last year was Larry Larva.
it bums me out because it's a time eater.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a one and done. All right, so
that's Hollywood, baby.
okay. We have to give up our booth.
Because it's 90 minutes. Yeah.
We're going to hear another word from our sponsors. God, we're halfway through the Tahitian drink. The Tahitian drink stays where it is for me.
I think I'm going to land on 275 because
I forget what I said. Whatever I said before
you
is
said
what.
25 and I
Said
was like
2.5?
2753. It
mellows out a bit.
I just don't foresee myself ever drinking this again.
I don't like it. 2.5. All
You're
right,
okay.
we're going to pause here. We're going to go move, and then we're going to go talk about Orlando.
Jay's first time at Orlando.
Okay, we're outside now. Our booth was reserved.
Boo.
Boo! Spooky. It's scary bright out here.
I know when I walked outside, I was like, ooh.
You know what's most terrifying is that I have more of this Tahitian than I thought I did.
Jay's
so,
first time in Orlando, not
first
first
time. Okay, I'll say this about my scare zones. You know how like the last time I ranked my scare zones in Hollywood, I was like kind of ranking them by like, oh, I like that scare zone because I like where it is.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about Orlando, so I'm not doing any of that. For me, it's just purely based on what sounds cool, what doesn't sound cool. Just purely creative.
Before I start, let me tell you the thing Peter said on Orlando Adventures that I feel like is very true to the differences between Hollywood and Orlando. When it comes to houses, in Hollywood, he feels like you are walking into a scene being played out. They sometimes have like boo holes where people are jumping out at you, but a lot of times you're walking into what feels like a set of a scene playing out. Where he thinks Orlando is more traditional, like, you're in a scene, boo hole. Traditional, you're in a scene, boo hole kind of thing. But with scare zones, they are very different in Orlando, typically.
Okay, how are they different?
Way more street props, way more actors.
Oh, wow.
But they are not as aggressive as they are in Hollywood.
They're like avoidable.
In most areas, they're avoidable, but there's way more actors. I mean, in years past, there's been scare zones where there's literally 40 actors in a scare zone.
Holy
Crazy.
Shit. Orlando, there are 5 scare zones.
Yes.
What are they?
The first one is Enter the Blumhouse, which is very similar to the
Right.
properties we have been told about for Terror Tram. For people that are familiar with the Orlando event, this is in like the San Francisco area where like Jaws used to be. In years past, sometimes this can be a bit of, excuse the term, but clusterfuck, depending on how many like little stages they have in there, because that is another big difference for Orlando versus Hollywood is a lot of the times, especially post-COVID, they have little stages in the scare zones. That
Kind of
doesn't
like Oogie
mean
Boogie.
that doesn't mean there's not actors walking around too, but they also have stages. I will say a positive to that. My favorite scare zone in recent years in this area was when they did Crypt TV. And this was like the first time they used stages because it was like coming out of COVID. And I actually really enjoyed the use of stages here because they all had like their own trigger. They all had their own scene from whatever their short was that they were in.
Okay.
And it was cool.
Oh, really? Oh.
Dang it.
Should we move back in?
If you want.
Let's go get our table.
Okay, let's go
All right.
back. We were just trying to make you
We were
not come
trying to
back
make life
over and be
easier.
like, you guys, you gotta go. All right, we're moving back in. Okay,
Okay.
We're back.
So we're back. We
moved outside, we're
we
back
moved
inside.
outside. Long story short,
we're back.
we
We're back
moved
in the booth.
outside. We moved back inside.
We're back to being booth
Technically-
bitches.
Yeah. We're in our booth bitches and booth bitches.
Okay, Blumhouse. In this scare zone in recent years, they have done like a bunch of little stages, which from what I have seen from what they have set up already is what this is going to be.
So then there's, I have questions about this one.
Yeah.
Duality of fear.
Yeah.
You choose your path. Follow sinister, the manifestation of visceral horror, or follow surreal, the incarnation of unearthly terror. Who are sinister and surreal?
Well, first of all, you didn't spell it
'Cause-
correctly on your description
I know. It's got 3s instead of E's.
because it's year 33 in Orlando.
Okay, every E is a 3.
I know I've told you before, Orlando has leaned into icons
Right.
much more frequently than Hollywood has.
Icons meaning like
There's like a
characters.
host of an event.
host.
Most of them are original character, always an original character,
Right.
really. Kind of like if Larry Larva presided over the whole event last year,
Right.
like every house had a little something to do with Larry Larva. Every scare zone maybe had a little something to do with Larry Larva. That would be what this is, essentially. There's a lot of speculation amongst the community if these are going to be icons or if these are just like theme characters for this year, because there is a distinction among the community.
Right.
But when you first walk into their event, Dave, you can like go into like New York area straight, essentially, or you go to the right and you go to like Hollywood.
It's kind of like left tunnel, right tunnel at Disney or Mexico, Canada
Exactly.
at World Showcase.
You're exactly right.
Okay. Then what else do we have?
And then Demon Queens,
Demon Queens.
is going to be further into the Hollywood section. And that's going to feature 4 merciless queens loyal to surreal rule, surrounded by hordes of fanatical followers. That
Cool.
could be fun.
Then Swamp of the Undead. You'll unwittingly wander onto private property where you're swamped by zombies born from the bodies of other trespassers who were killed in the nearby bog.
So this, for people that are familiar, is in the Central Park scare zone. It's small and surrounded by a lot of trees. It's normally very full of fog. This is a scare zone area that I was referring to that you probably cannot avoid being scared in.
Okay, got it.
Notoriously, it's probably one of the better scare zones because it is smaller, so they can like really theme it.
Right.
I, like we just said, not the biggest fan of zombies, but what I've so
But
far
this is like
seen
swamp
online,
zombies.
this looks pretty
This
cool.
is different.
Yeah.
This is swamp zombies.
Yep.
And then the last one.
This one's Torture Fair. Sinister Renaissance Fair with devious theme of medieval torture. So this is going to be in the New York area. So this is a considerably further walk than Surreal's area is going to be.
Okay.
This is probably the biggest scare zone usually.
Got it.
There's a big stage typically where they do like a little show on it normally each year. Normally, I like the scare zone a lot. Some years it's been a flop. Like a few years ago, they did like Zombieland 2 and it kind of sucked. But like
Right.
this is where Mr. Sweets came from, was this scare zone. I have high hopes for this. But I'm also unclear, is this like a modern day Renaissance fair where like shit goes haywire? Or is this
I think it's
medieval
old-
torture?
Medieval torture.
Because I am seeing people say it's modern day Renaissance fair where shit has gone haywire.
I don't think so.
All right, we'll find
Okay.
out.
I honestly don't see how our rankings aren't the exact same on this. It baffles me.
What's your number one?
Number 1, Swamp of the Undead.
It's not my number one.
Oh, yeah.
It's my number 2, though.
Okay, Swamp of the Undead. Sounds awesome. Sounds deliverance with zombies.
Which is basically what the sets I've seen look like. Yeah.
like, I love it. I think that's really cool. It sounds scariest. It sounds...
It's going to be scariest, I
It's
think.
fun. I don't know what the logistic... Oh, my God, I'm drunk. This
Isn't
Tahitian.
strong at all.
I never said that this one wasn't strong. I just said I didn't like it. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Torture Fair.
Torture Fair was number 2 for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I said before, like, medieval stuff, like, I've always been kind of interested in it. And this scare zone is so big, I liked hanging out in this zone. This is the one that typically has the most actors, the most set pieces, like, has a little show. It's fun.
To be honest with you, like, both versions of Renaissance going wrong
Or
or medieval torture,
both sound kind of
both
good.
sound...
Yeah,
Because, like, one is, like, medieval torture, and it's, like, very fun.
yeah.
Like, and I think that's cool. 2 is, like, kind of like Renaissance fair / like, kind of carnies.
Yeah,
And that's...
could be good,
Did I
too.
ever tell you about the time that we went to the Renaissance fair? And, like, we just saw, like, a normal dude go up a motorboat, like, one of the workers there. And she was like, oh, my. She's, like, totally fine with it.
Oh,
I was
geez
like,
Louise.
where are we, Rebecca?
Don't do that at
And
Horror
I was like,
Nights.
yeah. So anyway, but that turned haunted. That
What?
turned haunted is very fun to me too.
Yeah,
So anyway,
sounds fun.
either one, I'm gonna have to have some tacos tonight. I'm gonna tell
I
you that
ate
right now.
pasta before I came, so I feel okay. All right, what's your number 3 then?
Number 3 for me, Demon Queens.
Oh, me too, friend.
Okay, Demon Queens sounds cool.
I feel like this might be the zone for the queers a little bit.
Yeah. Yas, demon queens.
Yas queen.
Yas, demon queens.
And I might be all about it.
Yeah, totally fun. So then 4 and 5, we know that we flopped. Duality of Fear, you're saying is worse than Blumhouse?
Because I'm putting Blumhouse as 4 because, like, that's why I was trying to explain the stages with, like, Crypt TV and stuff was because from someone who enjoys taking pictures at the event, I kind of like that setup.
Okay. For logistical
reasons, I like that setup because the lighting is good. It's easy for me, who is not the greatest photographer or doesn't have the best equipment or whatever, to get some pretty cool pictures. Whereas Duality of Fear, a lot of times, where that is, the entrance zone, not dissimilar to like Chainsaws at Hollywood.
Right.
It's like
You're
done.
walking through it.
Yeah.
Duality of Fear, I have no idea what this description means.
And like
visceral things and like
the picture is like two kind of like porcelain-ish looking faces, or like kind of like what's the in theater the comedy and drama face, you know?
Yeah,
kind of like that a little bit. I don't know what to expect with this.
This description means nothing to me, but I'm more interested in it than Megan's because I think like I'm taking this into consideration that we're already going to have seen Megan's here. I'm going there and I'm going to see Megan's again. I'm not going to care about it.
This is the only year we've ever had this little description of everything.
Right.
Since I've been going.
No videos.
Hardly hype videos.
They're too busy trying to have that dragonfly at How to Train Your Dragon at Epic.
It looks cool, I'll be honest. But in years past, they've had a lot more lore, descriptive things built into the announcements.
Right.
Especially for Orlando. I'm taking that with a grain of salt, too, when I'm looking at my house rankings and my Scare Zone rankings, is because we're going off like a 2-sentence blurb. I'm honestly not sure.
Sure. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, that's all hype rankings are bullshit. Until we've gone, we don't know. Like, this is just like all prediction. This is like fantasy. This is like fantasy football for Horror Nights geeks.
Megan could break a leg, and guess what? She's out for the season.
Yeah. Okay.
Please don't, Megan actors.
Yeah, don't break a leg, Megan.
All right.
Okay, so now we're gonna go to. Okay, should we? I'm pretty drunk, but I know we need to catch up. Should we? We'll read the descriptions for the houses.
Yeah.
Get another drink.
Yeah.
And then give our hype list.
Yeah.
Okay. Houses.
We're not going to reread the description to the ones that are double down.
Ghostbusters, Quiet Place, Insidious, Monsters, Eternal Bloodlines, all the same.
Correct. I'm excited for you to see this because they're different interpretations. It is not a carbon copy of the house.
Logistically, they might be completely different.
But the descriptions they have given us are the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Except no slash music in Monsters, Eternal Bloodlines.
Right.
Okay. Monstros. It's what we had in Hollywood last year. With La Muerte as your guide, try to survive the night with 3 terrifying legends. Talapucci, La Lueza, and El Ciblon.
Salapucci, La Lechuza, El Sabon.
Okay, great.
I think I got it pretty good.
You said it like French.
Did I?
Yes.
I think my default accent is French for some weird reason. So it's the big scary owl lady.
Right.
The guy with the big sack that he puts the kids in.
Oh, God.
It's what it is.
Yeah, but you have to admit that you said that was strange. The guy with the big sack.
You walked into the sack last year in Hollywood.
You walked into this conversation with me.
You walked into this giant sack. Remember?
Yes. We got to move on.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Sorry, do Slaughter Cinema.
Slaughter Cinema 2. It's time for another horror movie marathon at Cary Drive-In. Scream through the scenes from Creature Features, Gridhouse Horror, and more.
So this is a sequel to a house in 2018 called Slaughter Cinema.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Basically it's like a bunch of B horror movies that Universal Creative have come up with that wasn't good enough for like a full house maybe, but it's going to be a bunch of different scenes from all these movies. Also, Cary, Ohio is HHN Orlando lore. We'll get back to it.
Okay. Then we got Museum Deadly Exhibits. A folklore museum's newest exhibit, The Rotting Stone, has released an evil spirit that decays everything. And it's coming for you.
This sounds creepy.
It sounds super creepy.
This also takes place in Cary, Ohio, I've heard.
Okay.
Major Sweets Candy Factory. You're chaperoning a field trip to a candy factory when the free samples transform the kids into candy-coated killers. This was a scare zone at 31. It was very well received, very fun.
Goblin's Feast. Enter a goblin village where a feast is being prepared for goblins, orcs, hobgoblins, and witches. And you're the main course.
From that description, and I did listen to the podcast, it seems like a sequel to the Pumpkin Lore House a few years ago. That's not what it's called. Oh, no.
You guys, this drink was 2 drinks.
I feel stupid.
Yeah, this drink was 2 drinks. The first drink was 1 drink, and they were both...
Wicked growth. Wicked growth.
They were both very fucked up
Wicked
drinks.
growth, bro.
Wicked growth.
It seems... Okay, let me take
That
it from
sounds
the
like
top.
a guy from Boston. Wicked growth.
Wicked growth, bro.
Did you hear about Samsy? Samsy's got a wicked growth. Samsy's got a wicked growth he had to get taken off his side.
Goblin's Feast seems to me it's in the same lore as Wicked Growth from a few years ago.
Okay.
And that house is definitely on my top 5 of favorite Halloween Horror Nights houses ever. So I'm excited for this one.
Our hype list is going to be wildly different.
We'll see.
Okay, last one.
Triplets of Terror. You're invited to the Barmy Triplets birthday celebration, but their kind of party involves recreating the murders of their entire family.
Yeah, and as we've said in the past, that the key art for this looks like creepy, like backwoodsy. It may be AI, but
people online are like really
like,
mad
they're
about
mad
a lot
about
of
it,
this stuff
but
looking like AI.
it looks like AI, but it also kind of looks like really creepy.
Strangers
like-
and maybe really creepy. I don't know what to think about this house, to be honest.
So we're gonna get another drink. We're finishing up with the Polynesian. No, finishing up with the Tahitian, and then we're gonna talk about our hype list and send it on home. 3 drink night, 3 drinks. Everybody, it's a 3 drink night. Hey, everybody, you wanted 3 drinks? You got 3 drinks.
We did all the descriptions.
We got all
So
the descriptions.
we need to do our ranking.
We need to do our rankings. But we need to do our.
Yeah, well, we have to talk. Is
we
that
need
a
to-
pickle?
No, it's a lime.
Look at the back of this. It
I
looks
know.
like a pickle.
It looks like a pickle. We need to do our drinking.
First, we got to do the drink.
The most important part of the podcast is the drinking.
I feel like I'm covering my work like in elementary school because my list is handwritten out. And I
Corey.
feel like Dave keeps trying to look.
Corey,
He keeps trying to look at my list.
Corey, my eyes couldn't see your list.
Please avert your eyes from my SpongeBob notebook.
I've
okay?
got one eye going one way and the other eye going the other way. I'm seeing triple. I do
Triplets
not.
of Terror?
There's no chance in hell in this dark Tonga Hut environment.
Also a Horror Nights.
I can
There's no chance.
see your fucking notebook. We got a Red Tide. Red Tide, The Shining. Like The Shining, like the big pool of red
The Blood Elevator. Featured in a Horror Nights house in 2018.
R.I.P. Shelley
Shelley
Duvall.
Duvall.
Do you think that they're going to say anything for Shelley?
At the Academy Awards.
No, at Horror Nights.
Oh, if they were doing a Shining house, they definitely would. Because remember I told you when Sid Hayes died from House of a Thousand Corpses and many other Rob Zombie movies. It was the year that we had a House of a Thousand Corpses house, and like the actors that were playing him like definitely changed a bit once he passed away.
Sure, but you don't think that they're gonna like have anything like Duval Street or anything like
Maybe there's like a little Easter egg somewhere.
like
That'd
Easter
be cool.
egg. They gotta
they
do an Easter egg.
should. That's such an iconic role, and like
Yeah, it's
especially like in years recent, knowing like what she went through for that role. Like definitely, I
All
would
right.
appreciate it if they did. That's for sure.
Red Tide.
It's a quote unquote daiquiri
It's in a little like
coupe glass
gimlet coupe glass.
with a lime wedge. It's very reddish looking.
We cheers to the Browns party. All right, you find one this time. Tell us what you're Googling. And
This is so easy and so perfect. Ready?
okay.
Raise your spirits.
Raise your spirits. Love it. Good work.
Or a thimble of a tiki drink.
Yum. Good.
It's fine.
It's exactly what I needed right now.
Yeah, it's sweet.
It's lemonade.
Easy. Yeah, it's lemonade. It's pink lemonade.
It's pink lemonade. I love it.
Okay.
Right now, I needed it. 3.75.
I was going to say 3.5, so we're pretty close.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's just like sour. I gotta tell you what's in it.
It's like a nondescript daiquiri. Like, it tastes sweet, it tastes a little sour. Like,
Pink lemonade is a perfect.
Yeah. It's good.
got lime juice, grenadine, and gold rum.
Okay, what's the guy's face look like?
Guy's face. Thank God he's fine.
He's happy.
He's happy.
Great.
She
was looking out for us.
It's an original creation.
It's good. It's balanced nicely.
It's really nice. It's easy.
It's an easy drinker.
Easy
I'd order this for anybody.
I would order this again. 3.75. Check back in with me at the end. I'll probably say 4.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking hype of the houses.
Still covering mine.
I'm not looking at I swear to God.
I'm literally using napkins so Dave can't see my notebook.
Okay. Top houses.
Number 1.
Are we going both at the same time just
no,
to see?
No, it's not going to be the same. So you just say number 1.
Number 1 for me, what I'm looking forward to the most from a creative standpoint, and I think that they can do a lot of fun stuff with it.
Oh, 3, 2, 1.
Museum Deadly Exhibits.
Nope.
Oh, no.
But I struggled with this. This list was much harder for me to do than the Hollywood one.
I think it could just be creepy. I think
this is going to be the scariest one.
I just think it's like a fun idea that they can do a lot with, that we can see things come to life that will be fun.
I will tell you, I've seen in one of the theme store at Islands of Adventure, they theme for Horror Nights each year too. And they just finished it. And there's some crates that say they're to be delivered to this museum. And it does say to Cary, Ohio in this museum, which is part of Orlando's lore. I think this is going to be very scary. I think this is going to be very dark. I think this rotting stone thing is going to be super creepy.
I don't know. The possibilities I think are just really fun with this one. I
agree. It sounds fun.
I think it just sounds fun. Tell me what your number 1 is.
Slaughter Cinema 2.
Slaughter Cinema 2.
Because I love Slaughter Cinema 1. It had great elements of camp and funness. There's been houses that have spawned off of the first one. But it was also scary at moments, the first one. I have nostalgia for that one from 2018. Because it was the first year I took Brittany to Orlando. Yeah. And that was one of the ones we both really enjoyed. I do like a mashup house. I think they're fun. I realize some people don't like that when 1 or 2 rooms are themed to one thing and then 1 or 2 rooms are themed to something else. I do enjoy that because to me that's kind of scarier because you're not really sure what to expect around the next corner more so, in my opinion. I know it'll be campy. I know it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to what they call all the movies because the previous one had some really funny puns like Shitty's Kids and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to that one.
I didn't know what to expect out of that one. I put it at number 2.
Oh.
I think that the premise is really cool.
Yeah. I think because the first one was so popular, they'd be shooting themselves in the foot to make this one not good.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Also, I remember the facade from the first one being really cool where you're we're walking into a drive-in and it smelled like popcorn.
Ooh.
It's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. Okay, you're number 2.
My number 2 is Goblins.
Oh.
Because I think that, like I said when we were reading the descriptions, I think this is kind of like a sister to Wicked Growth from the other year, which I loved that house. It sounds kind of campy, but I also think this is going to be a little scary, like Wicked Growth was like that too.
My 3 is Insidious.
Okay.
Coming off, I'm already going to have done it in Hollywood, but I'm
interested to see if it's different.
But I'm interested in it as of right now, kind of interested in it the most.
Yeah.
Just based on the fact that I've seen that promo and seen that how much it scares you. I'm very
You're just
excited.
wanting to laugh at me, hit the deck is what you want.
I'm just basically excited about it.
Yeah,
so that's
fair.
My number. What's that?
That's your number 3.
That's my number 3.
My number 3 is Museum Deadly Unrest.
Okay.
I had a tough time picking my top 3 because I would say all 3 of these of mine, Slaughter Cinema 2, Goblins, and Museum of Deadly Unrest, I'm probably equally excited for all of them.
What's your number 4?
Monstrous.
My number 4 is Triplets.
We are so far off.
I think that backwoods scary family murdering people is fun and scary, and it could
The
be
Strangers.
really weird and backwards and fucked up, and I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for
I
that.
just don't know what to expect out of that based on the key art, like we were saying before and stuff. Like, I'm just not sure.
I will say my number 5 is Monstrous.
Oh, I also inverted this. We're back on track. My 5 is Monstrous.
Okay.
My 4 is Universal Monsters Bloodlines.
Okay.
Sorry.
We're not like...
So 4 is Bloodlines for me, 5 is Monstrous.
Okay. So Monstrous we're both putting kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
We're both like...
I'm excited to see
It was
their
our favorite house
interpretation.
from last
Yeah.
year. We're excited to see what it's like. If we had never seen last year, it would be my number 1.
Oh, 100%. But because I loved ours so much last year, I feel like weirdly defensive of it.
Right.
So I don't want to put it too high.
Right. I'm excited to see if it's the same.
I think it's in a soundstage, if I remember correctly, in Orlando. So I am excited to see the scale they're able to build it on, if it's like way cooler. I am excited to see that.
I'm excited to see if there's Spine Rip guy.
Spine rip, spine rip, spine rip.
There's
And
a
then
guy
he just
that,
stared at us and wouldn't
I
do
know.
it.
There's a guy who ripped the spine out of something. That was my number 5. Monstrous is my number 5.
Same.
Okay.
6.
6 for me was Monsters Eternal Bloodlines.
Okay. My 6 is Ghostbusters.
Okay. Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. I'm already going to have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
This to me actually, like, when I was making the rankings and I put Monsters Eternal Bloodlines so high in Hollywood and then kind of like middle of the ground in Orlando.
Yeah.
It kind of made me more excited for, Orlando.
Okay.
I was like, oh shit.
Because these originals you're maybe more interested in or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm putting something at the top of my list in Hollywood,
Same. Yeah.
but like middle of Orlando, that's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. Do they have better houses? I don't know. Maybe.
You're going to find out.
Like that made me really excited.
I'm really excited to hear your opinion.
So I put that at my number 6.
And Ghostbusters I did 6 because I honestly liked aspects of Hollywood's previous Ghostbuster house better than Orlando's in 2019. So I kind of want to see Orlando redeem themselves for a Ghostbusters house a little bit, to be honest. So
Sure.
that's why I put it at 6 for me.
We are going to be so different on these on the back half.
7, 8, 9, 10.
7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just gonna say 7, 8, 9, 10. Because
7?
Quiet Place, Major Suites, Goblin's Feast, Ghostbusters.
Okay. My 7 is Major Suites. My 8 is Insidious. My 9 is Triplets. My 10 is Quiet Place.
Overall, you're low on Quiet Place. Overall, I'm low on Ghostbusters.
Yep.
Same reason.
Yeah.
I'm just got very low expectations for it. Suites, I think that my lack of knowledge coming into it feeds to the fact that it is number 8.
Yep.
Whereas you enjoyed
I've seen the scare
it.
zone,
And
yeah.
You saw the scare zone and you liked it. And then Goblin's Feast. I don't know. I can't
It seems
pinpoint.
like fun traditional Halloween to me, I think is why I rated it so high, too.
I can't really pinpoint what it's not hitting for me. I feel like it kind of is hitting that Leprechaun camp to me, but
That's fair. Leprechaun 4.
it's like middle of the road for me.
Okay.
Kind of in the same way that Chucky was for me last year.
That's fair.
Like it's just like fine.
Yeah.
So we're not like wildly far off.
Not wildly off. We just
You
have-
had goblins very high. I had goblins very low.
because I'm hoping it relates to something I've already seen,
Right.
which it may or may not.
I can't wrap my head around what a Ghostbusters house looks like. I don't know. If I'm seeing like actors play,
You're gonna see likeness characters for sure. That doesn't do it. Is that why you didn't like Stranger Things? Because you don't like seeing
Maybe.
the likeness?
maybe.
Huh.
I don't know. I liked Last of Us.
Well, those actors were good. And the actual actors from the video game re-recorded lines for the house.
Last of Us was just done very, very well.
Yeah,
And
on
I
both coasts, to be honest.
and
But
I-
I thought Hollywood was even better.
and I have a bad feeling about Ghostbusters.
I would suggest doing your HHN homework because it does make you enjoy the houses a little
Okay,
more.
what
You'll
do
like
I-
notice things better.
What should I watch for Insidious?
Yeah,
Based on my house rankings, I need to watch Insidious.
1 and 2 for sure.
So there you have it. We're hyped.
Are you more hyped for Orlando or Hollywood?
Orlando.
Yeah.
This is an instance of more is better, I think.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, it's tough for me to say because I've been doing Orlando for a few years now too, but when I go to Hollywood the first night, I definitely get that feeling of like, I'm home. Orlando, like, we're meeting so many friends and stuff. Like, that also gets me really pumped up.
That's true.
And it's just such a bigger scale than ours is. Like, it makes me hyped in, like, a different perspective.
In Orlando, there's just, I've never been.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
There's more themed food at Orlando, though.
More themed
That's
food.
kind of fun.
We'll talk about all that.
Yeah, when that comes out, but...
I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Okay.
Best house, both coasts.
What do I think it's going to be?
Right now, best house, both coasts. What house are you looking forward to the most? What's the hype of the hype? The hype queen.
Like, if I'm looking at my hype list, or what do I just predict?
Hype king right now. For me, Monstros 2.
Yeah,
More hype.
I think I'm most hyped for that in general.
I think walk away, I'm like, this is going to be the
Perfection, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think Monsters 2, I'm like very, very hyped for. I'm very hyped for Eternal Bloodlines on both coasts too. But I feel like there's more room for error.
What do you think is going to be the scariest house?
Either Texas or Museum Deadly Unrest.
I think Texas is going to be the scariest.
It's going to be the grossest for sure. On both coasts, I think.
All
I
right.
don't know. Insidious might scare the shit out of me too. I don't know. There's a couple ones that I'm pretty scared of. I'm just excited. I love it. I love Horror Nights. Can't wait. They did announce for Orlando does like an Unmasking the Horror tour or like a behind the scenes, like a daylight tour. People are scared that are on that coast. That might be a good way to start.
Right. Unmasking the Horror, you're just doing a walkthrough during the day.
Yeah,
The
there's
lights
no
are on,
scare
no
actors.
scares, and you're just learning about a haunted house.
And they like give you a bunch of Easter eggs and like the lore and like
Right.
stuff about that. There's a 6-house tour and a 3-house tour. We're doing the 6-house tour when we're there. They allow you to take some pictures in the Orlando houses during that tour, which normally you're not allowed to photograph or video inside their houses at all. So it's a little different than Hollywood. But there you go.
All right. So that's it. We're finishing up Red Tide. I like it.
Yeah.
It's easy drinker.
Yeah.
It's a 4.
I'm going 3.5.
It's a small little guy.
It's a little thimble of a drink.
I'm already done. We went fast. We did it.
It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it.
So that's it. That's where we leave you.
I'm going to keep talking about other things, but there might be some Horror Nights contests for the
Okay.
next month.
Oh, okay. It's spooky season.
We're going to
That's
have
just
one
what we
foot in
are.
Horror Nights, one foot in other stuff.
All right. Well, we're going to go pay some bills. I definitely am going to eat some tacos. I cannot get home right now. But are you hyped for Horror Nights? If you are, let us know. Hit us up on our Instagram. It's at My Time the Podcast. Let us know what you're hyped about for Horror Nights. Let us know what you don't think is going to be fun for Horror Nights. You know, exactly what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can send us your list and we can compile a listener list. That's fun.
You can always call us at 559-WE-DRUNK, which is 559-933-7865. Leave us a message. Let us know what you're excited about for Halloween.
Or leave us a spooky toast.
Yes, please. We need a lot of spooky toast coming up. If you leave a spooky toast and we use it over the season,
I'll mail you some stuff.
yeah. Corey will mail you some stuff. If you've had these drinks that we had tonight, let us know what you thought about them. Grog Log tips, show tips, anything you want to tell us, leave it in a voicemail. Or if you don't like making phone calls, you can always email us, mytimethepodcast at gmail.com.
Probably during spooky season, we are going to start using our YouTube,
Right.
which is My Time the Podcast. We can post it on our Instagram, the
Sure.
link to it. But we might try to post some little like live action, like reactions or some walkthroughs from Hollywood opening night, anything like that.
Yeah.
So we'll try to do that.
And please, if you're enjoying the show, take a minute to rate and review the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever the hell you get your podcasts. Okay, so for Gory
And
Grave.
Grave. I thought of it.
Yeah.
Mahalo.
Bye. Ooh.
Ooh.